Is Diablo 3 coming to the Nintendo Switch? We have new details on the upcoming Battlefield game, and Turok is back. Plus a lot more. Let's get into the news. So it looks like we could be getting Diablo 3 for the Nintendo Switch. Blizzard tweeted out a very cryptic tweet showing a Diablo light getting constantly turned on and off. And if you put two and two together, it really just points to Diablo 3 coming to the Switch. Now, nothing's officially been announced, and Blizzard later came out and said that they cannot confirm that Diablo 3 will be coming to the Switch, as they have no plans for an announcement right now, and that this tweet was just a fun engagement piece. But if you really put two and two together, like I said, and you think about it, they're switching a Diablo light on and off constantly. Why else would they do that? Unless they're trying to tease that they are at least working on bringing Diablo 3 over to the Switch. So new details have been leaked about the new Battlefield game coming out this year in 2008. It will be called Battlefield 5, and it will be based in World War II, and the game will include loot boxes. Now, they haven't given us much more information other than that, and some people were kind of disappointed because people were hoping for a Battlefield Bad Company 3. But it looks like they are stepping away from any modern combat and sticking with the old style World War combat, and they will be going in the same path as Call of Duty World War II and giving us a World War II game. Now, this is good news for me, at least, because I loved Call of Duty World War II. I thought it was a great Call of Duty game, and it was so much better than Infinite Warfare in my opinion. And I really hope that Battlefield follows in the same steps, and I'm sure they will, because Battlefield 1 as well was an amazing game. So if you're a Turok fan, you can now play the first two Turok games that came out on the N64 on the Xbox One. They are remastered versions, and you can download them now. Turok is basically a first-person dinosaur hunting game, and they are really fun games. So if you like these Turok games, or if you want to try them out, go check them out right now on the Xbox One. So a piece of interesting news came out this week, and it was the creator of Sonic, Naoto Ohshima, was talking in an interview for the Untold Stories of Japanese Video Games, and talked about how his first sketch of Sonic was making Sonic into a human character. Here's exactly what Naoto had to say. "I created the first design proposal for Sonic after 3 years in the design department. Although it wasn't Sonic then, the main character was a human boy. I remember the idea stuck me right as I was going to bed, and I was afraid that I wouldn't remember it in the morning. So I drew quickly in the notebook and then fell asleep. My pitch was that the maps of action games were at the time always full of squares, everything at right angles. What if we would make a game where a character was running over smooth terrains, running in circles through loops and such? So I presented my proposal to Sega, and they told me that it probably could not be done, but that if anyone could program it, it would be Yuji Naka. They said that if I could get him on board, we could proceed with the project." Now, this is pretty interesting, because what if Sonic was actually a human boy? Would he still have the same appeal and still have the same popularity as he has as a hedgehog? There's no original sketches of what he would have looked like as a human boy, which is unfortunate. But it would be interesting to know what would have happened if they didn't go with the hedgehog sketch and went with the human boy sketch, and if Sonic would be as popular as it is today. So Nintendo is releasing Splatoon 2 themed chocolate eggs, kind of like Kinder Surprises, where in each egg you get a Splatoon 2 figure. There are 16 different figures to collect, but as of right now, these are only available in Japan. So unfortunately, if you live in any other part of the world, you can't get them unless you import them, obviously. Hopefully they will be bringing them over, but it would be pretty cool if they did, because I would love to collect those 16 figures. Players have discovered hidden messages in Metal Gear Survive. They were found in the codenames in Metal Gear Survive on the clipboard, and here is the hidden messages that were found. So the first message was KJP Forever, and this can be interpreted as Kojima Productions Forever, and it is the first initial of the codenames. If you look straight down vertically, it'll say KJP Forever. Further to that, there is a codename MG, and it says KIA, mean killed in action, and people think that that means Metal Gear Killed in Action. And then there is Mosquito, MIA, and that means Mosquito Missing in Action. And if you know about Mosquito, he is one of the main characters that set off the events for Metal Gear 5. The last two codenames on the sheet are Bastard Yota and Cunning Yuji. Now, Yota and Yuji are the directors and producers of Metal Gear Survive. So it's kind of interesting, because that means that some of the developers who made the game were playing a trick on their developer and producer, or were they just putting in a funny Easter egg message themselves? Now, I haven't tried Metal Gear Survive yet, because I've only heard bad things about it and I really have no interest in it. But if you've tried it, let me know in the comments below if you've seen these coded messages. So Chrono Trigger, one of the most famous RPGs and one of the most beloved RPGs, got a surprise release this week on Steam. You can pick it up now for $15. The graphics and everything in it are the exact same. Nothing has changed other than some of the fonts, which I'm hearing are pretty bad. They use a terrible font for the game. But nonetheless, the gameplay is still there, the graphics are still there, and everything you love about the game are still there. It also includes 2 extra dungeons from the Nintendo DS remake in 2008 in this version of the game. So the ESRB is taking a small step forward in combating the predatory practices of loot boxes and microtransactions. They are going to now start labeling their games that have loot boxes and microtransactions and any in-game purchases in them on the box. They have also laid out an educational page on their website to educate parents just exactly what these microtransactions and in-game purchases are and what the difference is between them, because there are so many different in-game purchases in all these different games that you can kind of get confused. So that's a small step in the right direction. I mean, honestly, I think it's really only for show, to show that they are kind of interested, or they're kind of caring about what people say about these loot boxes, because I believe that they were already labeling the digital versions of games with in-game purchases, letting people know that there are microtransactions. But now they're going to be putting on the physical games. So hopefully if parents are at stores or if they're with their kids at stores, they will be able to notice these, and it will deter them from purchasing certain games that have too many in-game purchases. So with Yakuza 6 set to come out in North America on April 16th, this week Sega released a demo for the game. Now, fortunately for some people who downloaded the demo, they were able to get access to the entire game. Sega quickly realized this and pulled the game from the PlayStation Store. They went on to release a statement saying this: "We apologize, but have had to remove Yakuza 6, the Song of Life demo, from the PlayStation Store. We are as upset as you are, and I'd hoped to have this demo available for everyone today. We discovered that some were able to use the demo to unlock the full game. We're looking into the nature of this issue. Thank you for your patience." So they released that tweet, they pulled the demo, and then later on, they revoked the licenses to the people who had the demo so they couldn't access the full game. But if you were lucky enough, you were able to download it for a certain period of time, and you were able to play the full game for a certain period of time. Now, I don't know if Sega has put the game back on the PlayStation Store to re-download, or if they will or not. But if you were able to try out the entire game, or even to play the demo, because I didn't even get a chance to play the demo before it got pulled, let me know what it was like in the comments below. So the PlayStation exclusive Detroit Become Human, that has been met with decent amount of controversy based on the contents of the game, has finally got a release date, and it will be May 25th, 2018. Now, this is a game like Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls. It is developed by Quantic Dreams, and it's a game where you make different decisions, and the different decisions have different outcomes, and you go along like that. So it comes out May 25th. Make sure to check it out if you're interested in that game. So on the 1-year anniversary of the release of Horizon Zero Dawn, Sony has announced that the game has sold 7.6 million copies, and this includes physical copies sold and digital copies sold. Now, this is a great feat because this is tons of sales for such an amazing game, which really means that they will definitely most likely be releasing a Horizon Zero Dawn 2. Now, I haven't played the game yet. I picked it up on Black Friday for $39, and I know it's a game that I will absolutely love. I actually still have it here sealed, which is unfortunate. Like, I haven't even opened it yet. But that's because I have such a massive backlog of so many other games that I'm playing, and including retro games that I'm playing. It's hard to get to these new games on time. I am excited really to check it out. I know I will absolutely love it. If you've played it, let me know in the comments below how much you enjoyed Horizon Zero Dawn. So something very unfortunate was announced this week, and that is on March 8th, 2019, PlayStation Plus will not include PS3 games or PS Vita games with their free games every single month. Now that sucks because I really enjoyed getting those PS Vita games every month for free, more so than the PS3 games, because a lot of those PS3 games, they were available on PS Vita, or I just haven't really tapped into my PS3 in a very long time. But that kind of sucks because that does take away a little bit of the value of PS Plus. Now, I don't know if they're going to be replacing these games with better PS4 games or more PS4 games, but hopefully they do, and hopefully they don't just take away those games that they were giving us. So that sucks. Let me know what you think about that in the comments below. So the creative minds behind Dishonored and BioShock 2 have created a new studio, and they have announced a new game, and it is called Blackout Club. Now, this will be a co-op paranormal horror game, basically where you follow teens who are constantly going through blackouts in their city, and they have lost a friend, and they're going to be going out and searching for their friend. They showed a trailer of this, so it looks pretty interesting, and it will be available in the first quarter of 2019. So last week, Trump made remarks about how the United States needs to look at how violent video games affect children and the violence in video games and what is the content actually in video games that children are receiving and seeing all the time. Now this week he has announced that he will be meeting with representatives from the gaming industry to discuss violence in video games and school safety. Now this isn't the first time that this has happened. In 2013, Joe Biden met with representatives for the video game industry and talked about violence in video games. So who knows what will come out of these meetings, but like I said in my previous videos, I really think that the focus needs to be less on violence in video games because there are no studies that show that they cause violence to children, as well as there's studies that show the contrary to that, and they need to focus on other things that are occurring and that are happening that are making these terrible events happen more and more often. Now there weren't very many big game releases this week. There were two games that have caught my attention that came out for the Nintendo Switch, and the first one is Payday 2. Now Payday 2 is a first-person shooting game. This originally came out in 2013 for the Xbox 360 and the PS3, and then later came out in 2015 for the Xbox One and the PS4. And it's a first-person shooting game where you rob banks and you play with your friends and you try to do the heist in the best way possible. Now it came out on the Nintendo Switch this week, and I've heard mixed things about it. I've heard that it is a very fun game, but the lack of voice chat really kills it because you have to play with friends. So unless you have a bunch of friends that you know that want to play with you and you go on Skype or you go on Discord to talk with them, it isn't really that much fun because you can't just do a quick match, meet up with random people and talk over voice chat. Hopefully, when Nintendo implements their online services and they implement that voice chat, it will really improve the quality of the game. I will probably wait until then to pick it up. Currently, Payday 2 is sitting at a 62 on Metacritic. And the second game is Mulaka, and this is available on the Nintendo Switch, the Xbox One, the PlayStation 4, and PC. This game is a 3D action adventure game where you're exploring Mexico and the great landscapes of Mexico, and it's about the rich indigenous culture of the Tarahumara. Right now it sits at a 74 on Metacritic, so if you're interested in these 3D platform action games, you should check this one out. So that's your news. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button, leave a comment down below about any of the things I talked about, subscribe if you're new to this channel, and I'll catch you in the next video.